So I think that lady outlines in the video clearly there that collaboration is not necessarily a natural for all people. As leaders, we want our teams to have it, so we want to help and develop it. And as we want teams that are made up of different personality types to benefit them, as she mentioned MBTI, collaboration might not always be second nature to all those people. And you may even notice that you're not good at it yourself. And therefore, if you want to encourage others and it's not natural to you, then you need to be aware of that. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about self-awareness when we were doing Unit 51315, 400, being aware of your own strengths, weaknesses. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to encourage and foster the collaboration in our teams. And we can do that by engaging people and listening to them. We can understand them and get them to identify and talk about, and she talked about their quirks and their role and what they feel they give to the team. They don't have to be the loudest or the busiest person, but they need to understand and be appreciated by others in the team to make an effective team. And then we need to make sure that we use that to align work processes with roles. So we may have to adapt things within the team, as we discussed previously, defining different responsibilities for different people depending on their personality type or their skills or their attributes. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same for everyone. As it says there, they may have to be defined with different responsibilities in different areas. So collaboration is key to our high-performing teams. Again, as we've highlighted in a couple of areas before, developing a high-performing team won't just always work first time, won't go smooth. You have to work at it. You've got a bunch of individuals with different personality types, but the outcome and vision of what you want to achieve is important. And the sorts of obstacles we can expect are obstacles with time, patience and skills. Well, that could be yours and theirs. You might feel you haven't got the time to develop it. You might not have the patience with these different personality types. You may not have the skills, they may not have the skills. There could be mismatches of relationships, personality. Think back to the adult, child, parent sort of mismatches that we talked about in 513. And then there might be different working styles. People do work in different ways, and it can cause issues and confusions when they're working together. And then finally, there might just be that common resistance to change, and that could be down to many things. It could be down to their confidence in what you're trying to change and the way they think it's going to work. It could be a lack of skills to carry out what they think is going to happen. It could be that they don't think they've got the attributes to complete those things. So that goes back to us again, making sure that everybody is on board, everybody is buying in, and everybody understands that we've been through those steps we talked about where we discuss these things with the members of the team. And let's be clear, just because you've got a working relationship with someone, that's a term that we hear all the time, that does not automatically mean you're going to be able to collaborate with them. In fact, the term working relationship to me doesn't talk about collaboration or isn't what I expect for high-performing teams. Working relationship could be defined as a positive relationship with individuals you react with at work that make your job productive. You might add to that a good working relationship, but that's the sort of thing you'd have with a boss or a colleague. But if we add into that what we talked about in collaboration there of acceptance and recognition of say those quirks, so we have two or more people working together for a particular purpose is what we expect for a high-performing team, with acceptance of their strengths, weaknesses, and a trust in their ethic, then we might end up more with the term of, as we've got on the screen there, which comes from study.com, collaboration in the workplace is where one or two people, often a group, work together through idea sharing and thinking to accomplish a common goal. It is simply teamwork taken to a higher level, and that little bit there at the end I think is what we've got to be aiming for. Teamwork taken to a higher level. Because the benefits that we get from having high performance teams that collaborate fully are increased efficiency and time saved. So that's time saved for you once it's established, and the organisation being allowed to access all the skills and attributes of the team working together. And that leads to better problem solving and ideas and better cohesion within the team. So they're happier, the workplace is happier, and once people have found their place, they feel more comfortable, and therefore they feel better, and therefore it comes across in their work. But I think there are some wider benefits, and we need to focus on those. The wider benefits of it is it may help you identify needs and develop needs for the individual and the team, because people are more open, because people are more on board, because people have discussing things and they're working together more closely. It allows you to identify what the skills really are. People aren't trying to hide things, people are more open. And the second is that it helps you with reviewing and updating work documents that we talked about before. So things such as competency frameworks, job descriptions, things that often are written at the beginning and then forgotten. And we've already talked about how key they are to fitting in to all the processes before, and how they can sort of help to build everything together. And keeping those documents up to date will be key in us developing our high-performing team or culture, because feedback and development is massively important in that, and that's going to come from an effective appraisal system. So here we see, things such as job descriptions, competency frameworks, work processes, supervisions that have gone. Having those things in place before we start gives everybody that transparency that we talked about, and allows us to formulate that recognition and reward that we discussed in the steps. So this all needs to be embedded into the organisation. And from that, we're going to get their appraisals, an evaluation. We're going to have one-to-ones, be setting objectives, identifying training needs, recording it on a PDP, and producing a report that people can reflect on. And that all goes to developing the needs that there are for improving the performance overall. So individuals have all got a PDP. They've been through an effective appraisal system. They've had feedback on how they can improve their performance to the benefit of their team. And when you're in a high-performing team ethic, that can be empowering to individuals. Also, the benefit of that high-performing ethic is that as it develops, people start to want to celebrate their successes. They want that to be shared, they want it disseminated, they want their knowledge and expertise to be spread throughout the organisation, and there's a number of ways we can do that. First is we can publicise good news stories. We maybe have an organisational intranet, we maybe have a newsletter, otherwise we can do it by management reporting, but we need to make sure that these good, so that the teams get the benefit of it, that we're publicising the good news, we're showing where their successes are. Another way we can do that is to encourage coaching and mentoring outside of the team to spread the expertise and boost the confidence. It's not going to be suitable for everyone. We talked about different personality types, but some people will see it as reward and recognition. Or we could be getting them involved in presentations, networking, or in group forums. Again, not for everybody. Or attending meetings and conferences to spread the word about what's going on. But we also need to make sure we continue to monitor and develop and plan ahead for the benefit of the organisation. We're developing individuals here, and what we've got to make sure is that they see a route somewhere to go. So we can start linking in where they're developing into some sort of talent management, and we'll look at that in more detail in the next session. Right then, quick activity before, as I said, we move on the next bit to look at talent management techniques. But I want you to watch the video from the speaker talking about how to create a high performance culture. And you can use bits in there to work it into a team, and then complete the activity, which is a Word doc, looking at how you can help your team develop and thrive, and get that uploaded. And then we'll move on to part 3.